There you go. Ha ha. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our daily get together live here on Facebook every day of the week, 10:30 in the morning. And what do? We exchange headlines, comments, questions, ideas, suggestions. And Luna is in the house, but I moved her camera the other day. Let's see if I can get Luna in the picture since she has. Oh, there she is. She has decided to grace us with her company. Um, Not doing much of anything, but maybe I'll just wake her up in a little bit. Anyhow, we get together, we discuss headlines, comments, ideas, questions, anything that can help us get more bang for our buck, to say, to put it in a certain way. Living here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals, my God, I'm all over the place today, and I think that is because there's not a lot of news. I'm going to ramble a lot today because Governor Alfaro, who usually gives us his big updates on Sunday, did not give us a big update yesterday. We do know as a fact that Guadalajara is struggling to keep their act together in terms of organizing the enormous challenge of vaccinating people in the capital city for our state. We know they're going through a lot of trouble getting people organized and giving people their proper place in the waiting line. And some people are waiting days ahead of when they're supposed to be waiting. So let's hope that these are all learning experiences for the people that hope to get vaccinated and for the government as they implement these operatives in other cities such as Puerto Vallarta. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me first start, as always, by letting you know that we always welcome many friends that join us on a regular basis. And it is always a pleasure to welcome new friends into our daily broadcast. So if you are new, please let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and we will be so very happy to welcome you to Coffee and Headlines. And also, if you have important questions or comments that you'd like to raise during the program, please help us out by adding the letter Q at the beginning of your comment. That way we are going to be looking for it. But as always, let us take a quick look at some friends that are joining us, such as Claude, Raymond, our favorite baker. I hope you're feeling better, Raymond. Sherry is good to go. I love it. John says we are slowly reopening. I don't know, because there's a question mark there. I don't know if it's a question mark for me because I kind of took my time in getting my show together this morning, or things are slowly reopening in Anaheim. Please let us know what's on your mind, and we'll be happy to explain. Dan, it was so much fun to run into you and Kathy at Telas Parisina yesterday. I was buying yarn. Dan and Kathy were buying chingaderas for the house, or I don't know what they were buying, but it was always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure to run into people from the community out and about. Let's see. Ooh, Glee Audrey is arriving in 6 days. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. A sunny day in San Francisco. Thanks for letting us know. This is super cool. Tarim, bam, 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 bam. Um, I don't see questions to begin with. Liz says, "Que onda?" I love it. What's on tap for Music Monday? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Let's see what else we got. Michael got his first shot. Mazel tov. Ba-da-ba-ba. Sue Davenport loves the What the Fuck parrot. If you want the What the Fuck parrot, we will bring the What the Fuck parrot. Then asks, when can we see some of your knitting? Well, I showed some of my crochet actually yesterday. And I have some other chingaderas that I've been experimenting with over there in the dining room. So I'll make sure to share something sometime in the near future. Let's see. I don't know what it's like to thaw quickly, but I like that. Let's see what else we have. Had to refresh, have Paco unfreeze. Oh my goodness. So I went, love it, love it. Why can we not see your Sunday show? I'm not sure that I know the answer to that question, Sly. Yesterday's Sunday show was posted on Facebook and YouTube, as always. So if you can let us know more specifically what you're thinking about, it would be much appreciated. Craig asks, any recommendations for attending a baby turtle release? Well, for starters, you want to make sure that they're happening. And I do know for a fact that baby turtle releases happen during the end of the summer, the beginning of the fall. I don't think that they're going on right now, but don't quote me on that. I am not the expert. The best thing to do if you are in Puerto Vallarta is call the Marriott Hotel. Yes, the Marriott Hotel. There are several big hotels in Marina Vallarta that have turtle release experiences. But if you're in Puerto Vallarta, I would start with the Marriott because they seem to have the best organized one. And just call the concierge and find out when they are going on. And if they're going on this time of year. As I recall, they will not start just quite yet. But I can tell you it is an amazing experience. I went to a turtle release in Maito in the fall last year, and it was absolutely breathtaking. I forget if it was November or December, but it was thereabout. Okay, so I think we are catching up. It is great that everybody's had coffee. I am on my second cup, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the broadcast. So let's roll in the news. Only 3 little news items for today, as the governor did not let us know exactly what's going on with the numbers for the state. So I do want to let you know that with more and more people getting vaccinated north of the border, there seems to be an increase of people wanting to head south to Puerto Vallarta in the coming months. To that effect, United Airlines has announced an increase in frequency of 4 of its routes from Denver, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Newark. And this will result in 20 additional weekly flights from by United arriving in Puerto Vallarta. I would imagine that other airlines are also going to follow suit if the trends continue to be the same and if the number of people interested in coming back to Puerto Vallarta continue to increase. I've checked with friends and Uber drivers to see, how are things moving. And there seems to be a sense that even though this is the time of year when if Semana Santa approaches, a lot of English-speaking folk choose to go back to the States, apparently there seems to be enough interest in people that are north of the border in just getting out of the United States for a vacation. And if they are going to be joining us, that would be absolutely wonderful. In other news, the latest cannabis law in Mexico is about to get approved, but last-minute changes are raising some eyebrows. Apparently, the latest version of the cannabis bill or law does not differentiate? Where does the accent go on that word? I have no idea. But does not establish a difference between growing psychoactive cannabis and industrial hemp. This is a subtle but important detail that if it is not properly taken care of, it would arbitrarily favor pharmaceutical companies and put farmers growing the plant for industrial uses at a disadvantage. Mexico's National Cannabis Council is arguing that many byproducts can be legally commercialized by growers, particularly smaller farmers and whatnot. And of course, pharmaceutical companies are probably not going to be interested in these products. And lawyers are citing on the fact that the bill was originally proposed for patients suffering from degenerative neurological disorders to benefit from CBD and not so much for other hemp uses. So hopefully this is something that will be ironed out before the actual law gets passed, because there are many different uses for cannabis, and everybody should have access to all these uses, particularly farmers that are probably not as interested in getting high as some of us, if I may say so. Going back to COVID, again, we don't have any specific information from the governor today, but I've heard a number of conversations about people saying, well, I want to have this vaccine or this other vaccine because I've read that one is more efficient than the other. But what does a vaccine's efficacy rate actually means? Well, this is all explained in a Vox video published 2 days ago that gets into the whole notion that in the United States, the first two available COVID-19 vaccines were the ones from Pfizer and Moderna. Both vaccines have a very high efficacy rate of about 95%. But then the third vaccine introduced in the U.S. from Johnson & Johnson had a considerably lower efficacy rate, just 66%. So you look at those numbers next to each other, and it's natural to conclude that one of them is considerably worse. Why settle for 66% when you can have 95%? But unfortunately, that isn't the right way to understand a vaccine's efficacy rate or even understand what a vaccine does. And public health experts say that if you really want to know which vaccine is the best, efficacy isn't actually the most important number of all. So why are these governors north of the border saying, well, I don't want this vaccine because this other vaccine is better? Well, if you've been intrigued about these notions, this is the kind of video that you may want to be interested in watching. And of course, I'm going to share the links for it in our show notes, along with everything else that we discussed today. Let me take a quick look at your comments to see what you are thinking of, and then we will get on with the weather and music Monday. Let's see. The message states that you broke some rule about me. Yes, I know. Yesterday, the internet gods got upset about the fact that I played some Donna Summer and I got muted. So if you get to the part where I'm dancing like a loony and there's no sound or music in the background, it's because the internet gods do not want me reproducing Spring Affair and so forth and so on. And that's what happens. Let's see what else we have. I was reviewing the show notes from the last couple of days. I don't know if I missed it or if it's not there, but I was looking for the contact information for the driver that you hired for your trip. Thank you, Jeannie. That information is on not the second day we discussed Cajón de Peña, but on the first day. Look at it in the show notes for the, let me take a quick look. In fact, let us go find it together because it's not that complicated. Let's see. Oops. Bum. And the information you are looking for is right here, not on the 20th, but on the 19th. And it was on this day that we announced right at the bottom, Cajón de Peña, do you need a van to get there? Francisco Javier Quintero and his taxi safe service can handle the task. And so this is where it is. Let me copy and paste that link to your comments so that you can click on it and get to it directly. Okay, moving back to your questions. Have I been to the Butterfly Sanctuary? No, I have heard of it, and I've heard that it's a very peaceful place to go and visit. Anybody else has interesting information about this, please let us know. It's good to know, Kathleen, that you've been there, and it'll be a lot of fun to go check it out. Let's see. Eco Tours Vallarta, absolutely. That's another good source for turtle release experiences. Thank you very much, Logan. Jorge asks, is that at the Botanical Garden? No, this is actually north of the city. I think it is on the highway that goes towards Talpa and Mascota. Here's some more suggestions for turtle release programs. This is great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matthew. Differentiate. I'll try that. I'll try to remember it, actually. Let's see. Ba-ding, bam, boom, bam, boom, 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 boom. I am a rebel. Am I really a rebel? I don't think so. I'm just like a little chubby guy trying to connect with as many people as I can and be inspired by all of you. Before we move on to the weather, because somebody has sent me messages regarding these items. Number one, yes, there was a huge shootout in Rincón de Guayabitos. Yesterday, it was a cartel versus army type of situation. There was a lot of videos out there. There are a lot of people concerned about this. And as we've mentioned in the past, these are adjustment territorial things that go on between the cartels and the authorities. They have little to do with us. Would we want to be caught in the middle? Certainly not. But apparently, from what I understand, and I have not seen many headlines about this just yet, the army moved in on a situation in which they got a tip that some cartel members were going to use some heavy-duty weapons for something, and things got a little out of hand. So I hope nobody died. I haven't read all the details. So that's one thing that I want to just sort of talk about, if this is helpful to you. The other thing has to do with the wonderful restaurant, Daiquiri Dick's. I heard through the grapevine, and then somebody contacted me to this effect this morning. Daiquiri Dick's, I understand, is in the process of being sold. And I understand, and don't quote me because this is just hearsay, that the new owners are going to turn it into a beach bar. What that means or how that will unfold is a mystery, but we are certainly grateful for such a long chapter that Peter and Terry Bowman have given us by providing Puerto Vallarta this beautiful, beautiful restaurant right in front of Playa Los Muertos on Olas Altas. If you haven't been, go check it out. It's a great, great restaurant. And of course, Peter and Terry are getting to that age in which they want to be close to their children north of the border. That's perfectly understandable. So that is what we know. And of course, we wish them the best of journeys as they move on to whatever the next chapter of their lives is going to be. And of course, I've had conversations about my dear friend Noy, our dear friend Noy, who we featured here in the program a couple of days ago, because she used to be the chef there, and she also has not heard all the details. And but we wish the Bowmans the best of luck, and we wish the new owners the best of luck with whatever concept they decide to bring us moving forward. Okay, so let me now switch over to the weather, and we'll take it from there. Snarky Weather says, I hope I don't offend you, but I seem to be having tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle. I'm sorry to hear that, Snarky Weather. What is important to us, of course, is that today it is at 27 degrees, feels like 26. That would be 81 degrees Fahrenheit. We have low humidity, only 14% humidity. So today is a good day to go out and walk, even if it's getting warmer. Yesterday, I walked to upriver to visit the horses and to have a good time at one of my favorite restaurants, Moro Paraíso, before Semana Santa, because I'm sure that Semana Santa will bring a lot of tourists. And as I've said before, let the tourists enjoy themselves while we retreat to our homes. Weather forecast for this week, we are starting with a clear day throughout the day today. High temperature of 31, low temperature 18. Tomorrow, same thing, clear through the day, high temperature 30, low temperature 16. And Wednesday, clear through the day, high temperature 29, low temperature 16. And all this is good and wonderful for us. And let me take a quick look at a couple of comments that jumped at me, particularly this one from Heather. No one has died regarding Rincón de Guayabitos. It is recommended not to travel to Nayarit right now if this is not essential. Thank you very much, Heather, for filling in the picture. I very much appreciate it. Let's see. Susan says, all the best to the outgoing owners of Daiquiri Dix. They've had staff members that have been there for so long, and I am sure that many folks are going to be missed. I hope that Daiquiri Dix will throw some kind of big goodbye evening or something, because just as Logan says, there are so many fun memories of time spent at Daiquiri Dix. So we'll see what's going on with that, et cetera, et cetera. So with that said, it is time to get into Monday music. Music Monday. What am I saying? So before we actually start with Music Monday, I wonder if any of you got a chance to listen to some of the music that we shared yesterday, and if you enjoyed it. And I would love to see your comments to that effect. Yesterday, as you know, was Sunday Fun Day, and for a change, we ended up not cursing a single time. We did not ruffle any feathers. We did not offend your Spanish teachers. We simply dove into spring music, played a few samples of spring music, and I got slapped in the wrist by YouTube for playing Donna Summer's Spring Affair from her concept album, 4 Seasons of Love. Let's see. Are you doing anything special in 9 days for Coffee and Headlines' first year anniversary? What a great question. I think we're going to do a little get together for whomever wants to feel comfortable attending a public place. I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe tomorrow would be a good day to throw a poll just to see how many people are in Vallarta, feel comfortable of getting together and having a little bit of a meet and greet, because, I would not want to make a big deal with a restaurant and have only 2 or 3 people show up. And I also appreciate the fact that some people may just not feel quite ready to be out and about. Anyhow, let me slide back into the music. Yesterday, actually, let me switch over to the screen and put ourselves in music mode. Boom. Okay. Yesterday, we discussed a number of spring-related pieces of music. And of course, some people said, well, spring from the 4 Seasons is a must. And I said, well, it's quite lovely. But really, my favorite piece of spring music right now is recomposed by Max Richter, where he takes Vivaldi's 4 Seasons and breaks them down into the essential musical components. And it was my original intention to follow up today and talk a little bit more about some of Max Richter's other musical accomplishments, and he has many. He has created all kinds of fascinating music, from an 8-hour lullaby, which is another great album by him. This is an 8-hour experience called Sleep, which is music designed for you to sleep through it. And it is fascinating that the album, for example, even the beat of the music in the album corresponds to the average beat of a heart of a human while you're sleeping. So the music is designed to help you sleep. And in fact, he has performed Sleep with his orchestra live at several important cities around the world, usually outdoor venues where people show up with their sleeping bags and they're expected to sleep through the performance. So one of these days we are going to dive into Max Richter, because the way he is connecting classical music with the pop world and attracting young audiences to listen to alternative music is absolutely fantastic. But if you watch the trailer for this album yesterday, and I shared the links with you, you probably noticed that there was this gentleman, Ólafur, Arnalds, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm pronouncing his name properly, he gave a testimonial during the trailer about how Max Richter has taken the Vivaldi music in a respectful way and so forth and so on. So rather than talking about Richter, I figured we would come back to this gentleman and we will figure out who he is and why we might be interested in learning more about him. For starters, let me tell you that Ólafur Arnalds is a 34-year-old Icelandic multi-instrumentalist and producer. He mixes strings and piano music with loops and beats to create a sound ranging from either ambient electronic to atmospheric pop. What does that mean to us? Well, it means essentially that most of his music is very relaxing, very laid back. If you ask me, very appropriate just to chill out at home and do not much of anything. Let's see. Let me switch over to the next slide. I want to let you know that he has released several albums, including Some Kind of Peace in 2020. This is his latest album. He did Remember in 2018. In 2017, he released Eulogy for Evolution, which is actually a 10-year edition of his debut album with the same name. He released For Now I Am Winter in 2013, and he released he released For Now I'm Winter, and he's also released Living Room Songs in 2011. He has a couple of other albums, but these are some of them. He has also collaborated with other artists, such as classical pianist Alice Sarah Ott, to produce the Chopin Project, in which he features music by Chopin that has been recomposed by him in a similar fashion as what Richter did with the Vivaldi. So today we are actually going to focus on living room songs, and I will tell you why in a second. As the title conveys, these tracks were performed and recorded in the living room of his Reykjavik apartment. But not only that, there are 7 songs, and they were recorded live, 1 song per day, on consecutive days. And in addition, the songs were beautifully documented in video. Now, why did I choose this to feature today? Well, because this idea of just recording with basic elements at home seems all too familiar to many people that are doing live performances in this age of pandemic. But this was recorded many, many years ago, so, like way before the pandemic began. So it is interesting to see what was going through Ólafur Arnalds' creative mind when he set out to compose 7 different songs, record one on each day, and have them beautifully documented. The songs themselves are very meditative in nature. This is probably a reflection of the Icelandic winters, and they feature a number of instrumentalists. For one of the songs, he even brought in his mother, who can be seen here playing a synthesizer, and his younger sister. Other songs have different instrumental configurations. So it is fascinating to see that aside from the beautiful music, these performances were gorgeously documented. We see here this light fixture and pieces of a musical instrument. So the way in which the music matches, and I know you're not hearing any music, this is intentional, but I wanted to show you a little bit of the filming style that was used to create these 7 gorgeous songs, in which you get to see a little bit. There's the lamp, there's the light fixture, but it's actually in the composer's bedroom. And this slow camera pan then shows us what's going on in the living room. And this is, of course, being filmed live while the composer is recording. This happens to be a solo piano piece, so there are no other musicians. But even details like throwing in candles and all kinds of small, subtle differences that make this music absolutely gorgeous and make the process of sharing it with the world through video a very, very comprehensive experience. So I will leave you with links to enjoy the videos for the individual songs, along with a link to the entire film, which lasts less than an hour, and it features insightful commentary by the composer. I'll also feature in the show notes links to his Tiny Desk concert for National Public Radio, one of the two he did. He's done one in which he actually went to Washington to record it, but he also did one during the pandemic that he recorded from home. This is all live music recorded in one take, which is beautiful. And I'm also going to share with you his live from Sydney Opera House concert, in which he is backed by a full orchestra. And I truly hope that you'll enjoy discovering his musical world as much as I have. And now let me take a quick look at any questions or comments you may have about music in general or anything. Let's take a quick look. Boom, ba-ding, bam, bam, ba-ding, bam, boom. Mark says, you got me hooked. That's a nice thing to do. I hope I got you hooked on something legal. Let's see. What great idea having a get together. If we were in town, we would join in with masks. That's beautiful. Ready to meet you. Likewise, that would be a lot of fun. Angelica, it will not be the only meetup if we have one. And remember, you and I and Bronica are scheduled to go disco dancing together. Don't forget about that. Let's see what else. Thank you, Stephanie. It's been quite a fun ride. And yes, at some point, once we approach the actual date of the anniversary, which is March 31st, we will take a look back at some of the unique and amusing moments we've shared. Some things jump to my memory immediately. Like that day, I was scandalized by what was it called? The neti cup, the thing that you put water into your ear and it comes out the other end. That was just disgusting, but it was necessary. Let's see. Pari papu papum. Buenos dias, Tocayo. It's great to see you. Arturo says, great music for ASMR. ASMR, I forget what it means, but it is this kind of music that stimulates your senses in a very relaxing way. Let's see what else we have. Arnalds living room songs, Richter bedroom songs, perhaps that's one way to look at it. But again, I would all this music. I thoroughly miss having the opportunity to discuss music live, and this is one of the things that we're going to be hopefully scheduling moving forward, having get-togethers about music appreciation like we used to do. Because I really, really enjoy that. And if it shows, well, it must show thanks to comments like this one. Thank you very much, Joe. Yes, music is something that I'm really passionate about, but helping people see it, feel it, perceive it, and experience it the way I do is just important to me. So before we close today, as you watch the Living Room Songs video, if you're a creator, there are no excuses to not find something amazing to make a statement with whatever resources you have at your disposal. If you're not a creator, it is so nice to have the opportunity to allow ourselves to experience a creation and react to it. So whether you're on one side of the fence or the other, or maybe both, finding and connecting these experiences is definitely something that I am going to continue to enjoy as long as Luna allows me. Right now, she seems to be very fine. Just, oh my God, she's a lump. Girl, are you awake? Can I wake you up? Yes? Come back. You are awake. Anyhow, that is Coffee and Headlines for today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you've had a good time. And as always, I hope you will stay connected. I hope that you will have a great week this week. Tomorrow, we come back with a first ever Taco Tuesday. So tomorrow, we're going to see exactly how we've configured the whole experience of Tuesday taco places, and I think you're going to love it. And if you don't, I'm going to look forward to your comments and your suggestions as to how to better help us connect with all these amazing taco places that we have here in the city. So stay kind, stay happy, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and let's meet again soon, hopefully, even tomorrow. Have a great day.